Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hex TV back with another video. Today, I'm going to be breaking down another artist type vocals. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how I did like a remix of Post Malone and Tyler Yahweh, Tommy Lee. So if you want to check out that whole thing, follow me on Instagram at ITSH3X. And before we hop into it, I just want to let you guys know that I am offering mixing services. So if you're interested, either leave a comment below and we can chat. You can email me at realhex@gmail.com, REALH3X@gmail.com. I'll leave it in the description also. And DM me, ITSH3X. So yeah, let's get right into it. So here I have my session. I'll just play it with everything and then without everything, and then you'll be able to hear the difference. So yeah, we'll do that first with everything and then without.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my.
Cool, and then now I'm gonna do without.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee.
Cool. So now we'll break it down. It's obviously a huge difference. These vocals have I'm not gonna go over it right now, but as you can see, if I pull up the automation, some things right here, controlling the vibrato. I'm going to do a separate video on how to do Post Malone, like his little wiggle thing he does with his vocals, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to focus on the actual mix. So without further ado, let's hop right in. First thing I have here is the basic EQ. I'm doing a not so steep slope up to 116. That way it's not like telephoning the vocal, you know. Leaving some low end in there. At 230, it was a little resonation. At 230, there was a little resonance. So you can hear my room shittily. So I took some of that out. Same thing at 496, aka 500. That's usually like a good frequency to cut out on your first EQ right away. 1K was kind of telephony. 2630 and 6500. So yeah, and then these three right here in the middle I have in dynamic mode too. Yeah, so we'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet. I've been just writing so passionate, lighting the flame from my passion, yeah.
So you probably don't hear that much of a difference. Just some cleanup. Just, you know, it's less harsh in your ears and shit like that. So yeah. Now I have the again, before I get into all this FabFilter stuff, and you guys are gonna be like,
oh my god, I don't have those plugins. Why are you making a video like this?
if you don't have the plugins, don't use the plugins. If you have a de-esser in your DAW, which every DAW has a de-esser, or every DAW has a multiband compressor, or every DAW has a compressor that you can sidechain, please just use that. If you don't have a FabFilter de-esser, don't use it. If you don't have FabFilter EQ, use a regular EQ in your the stock EQ in your DAW. So yeah, it doesn't matter what plugins you're using. It just matters your ears and how you're using them. All right, so here's the de-esser. I'm not even going to A-B it, but it's just ducking the S's a little bit. I literally left it on the stock setting and just put up the range because I wanted it to duck the S. Oh, I wanted it to duck the S's even more. All right, here we have the R-Compressor. This R-Compressor is just kind of smoothing everything out. It's not adding more punch. It's not taking away punch from the vocal. All it's doing is just tightening everything up. So without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet. I've been just writing so passionate, lighting the flame from my.
So as you can see in this, I have some like -6 dB of gain reduction, a little bit past that sometimes. So I'm trying to aim for that as on the first compressor for this one. Then I pull up the virtual mix rack. Some basic EQ shiz going on here. Taking out the boxiness. Has like that telephone feel at 700. I hate that frequency sucks. Everything below 300 I'm kind of yanking out with a low shelf, 8 dB down, 3 dB out of 2K, and then over here a little bit more at 2K, out at 2K, and then a little bit out at 200. So basically I'm just again cleaning up stuff that's poking out still, especially after that first compressor. So we'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet. I've been just writing.
As you can tell, it kind of falls. Whoops. As you can tell, it kind of falls into the beat a little bit, which is like I kind of what I wanted. Like I didn't want it to be so like raw and in your face. I wanted it to be in with the beat for the song. Next is a multiband compressor. I have a little bit of a gain boost from the 40 to 500 range because it just needed more body. No gain changes there. And then other than that, I have like a fast medium attack for that section, fast attack for the mid section, which is 500 to 1K, which is like pretty much all the telephone frequencies. I just want to right out, but a quick release because I also still want it in your face. The transients can get really harsh though, like there, so that's why I do that. And then I have a slower attack to let the high end, everything above 1K, I have a slower attack to let that through more, so it actually cuts through the beat. And then fast release, and medium release for the low end because I want the low end to be snatched, without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
Word. Next, another multiband compressor. I'm just cleaning up with this one. This one I'm actually picking troublesome spots very specifically instead of just like doing ranges with the C4. This one is easier to, like, let's just say there was a little boxy in a certain frequency. I can dial in at that one instead of doing like a whole range. So around 230, 2200, and a shelf above 7500. So like all like the highs were kind of harsh. The high mids were harsh and the low end was muddy. So clean that up without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet. I've been just writing so passionate, lighting the flame from my
Word. So as you can tell, the frequency spectrum is kind of like evening out a little bit. Next compressor is a compressor I actually really like. It's just fire. I'm trying to shoot for like -3 on this. This one kind of just like chops the peaks a little bit and makes it not poke out as much. Again, has it tuck into the beat. We'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
Word. So this one's fire because it like does really well with peaks. It's kind of just like making the vocal like a brick. Like it's like it gives it power to stand out. A lot of people use RVox, which kind of I think sounds very similar to this. This one's a little warmer. RVox brings them a lot more low end and kind of can make it harsh, but sometimes, but they do sound kind of the same thing. I can't talk today. Next one, virtual mix rack. This shit is, I don't have the SSL channel from Waves, so like I would be using the SSL channel from Waves, but I only have Slate digital plugins. I only have this Slate digital EQ of the SSL, so I just use this instead. I have to pull up a whole mix rack every time, which like probably destroys my CPU, but I have a spaceship, so It's all set. Enough talking. A little bit at 1.5K, taking out 1 dB. 4-ish dB at 693. Again, that telephone range, cleaning that out. And then everything below 300, I'm taking out even more because from the compression, it builds up even more. So I wanted to thin it back out again without it getting too boomy. So we'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C.
In a weird way, that kind of like made it thicker, taking shit out. So like that's the thing, like people think they have to boost. If there's like not enough low end, they just boost the low end. But is there not enough low end or is there too much high end? Kind of that thought process. If there's actually just good high end and then just not enough low end, then you can boost. But you have to think cut before boost. It's a golden EQ tip. Ding, 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 ding. Golden EQ tip. You have to cut before you boost because if you boost bad things, they will stick out more. But if you cut the bad things, boost the good things after, then it's just, you will never mess that up. Just use your ears, and I hate that advice. Use your ears. Everybody says that. It's true though. All right, vitamin. This is basically like parallel. I think it's parallel compression. The mids and low mids, I wanted to give some parallel compression because I wanted them to punch more. It's basically it. I left it at the standard ranges for frequency wise. And I just boosted them until it sounded good. So yeah, I'll take that off and then we'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
That sounds way less hollow now. Next, again, just another SSL EQ. I just really like this EQ. I guess I'm getting saturation every time I pull this up, which I probably shouldn't have done, but whatever. Happens. Taking out 3K, 1 dB at 3K, about 1 dB at 350, and then around everything below 300, again, shelving out. So yeah, apparently I don't like everything below 300. Shelving that out even more. And then I boosted the gain with a trimmer at the end because probably from this shelf, it got really quiet. So we'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
Cool. Clean stuff up, makes it cut because there's more high end now. This saturation is what actually makes a vocal like just bust through the beat like it's paper mache. Like dead ass. This shit is fire. So if you have the FabFilter bundle, use this. If you don't use this. You don't have to use saturation on your vocals. It does help, but it's not going to make or break your mix. Nobody's going to listen and be like, that doesn't have saturation. You know, you just have to use your ears. Again, I'm saying that, but it's true. And if you have this, I highly recommend. So usually I boost some high end on this, but I didn't. I just left it literally at the default setting and then just slapped it on, and then that was it. And then I pulled the gain down a little bit because it got loud. We'll do without and then with.
You always talking about it, you never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
So that pretty much gives you like the over compressed sound that all of modern music has without actually compressing it, which is like basically it's just adding harmonics. Like that's what compression does also. So that's why people think that like, oh, maybe he added more compression, but some of the mix engineers you might be looking up to might just be saturating with the analog gear they have, you know? So you have to think about it that way too. Multiband compression. So apparently there was a lot missing at the 2K range or like 1K, 2K. So I added those high mids back in with the gain, but also evening it out by making it duck when it's too loud. And then at 270 it was probably too boomy. We'll listen in here. Without and then with.
You always talking about it, You never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my.
All right, so this helped a lot. This definitely, like, because it gives it like power in the high mids without making it harsh. Like, good trick is boost the gain, but with a multiband compressor in the high mids, if you don't want harshness, but you want that presence, and then have them duck really far under so that like they're constantly like shaking around the center point, you know? Okay, added another de-esser because high mids and saturation, high mid boost and saturation right in a row equals very bad sibilance. So again, I was just use the Pro-DS because I just like the way it sounds, and I just took out even more. So without, and then with, actually I'm not even gonna A/B, it's just de-essing. Did I even use this? No, I didn't even use this. So we're done. Look at that. Now onto the reverb. I use a de-esser and absolutely smash my sibilance before it goes into the reverb, because if someone says S and then the S rings throughout the room of the reverb, it's very disgusting sounding. It's just like, it doesn't sound natural, I guess, even though that's what would actually happen. No, that's not what would actually happen. I don't even know. We'll have to look that up. But yeah, it doesn't sound good. So do that. And then I have the Pro-R, and I do the choir rich hall. So it's like a 2-second reverb. It's just a nice long hall. Cut out lows and highs. So I'm not even going to A/B that. The delays are a little loud, so I'm going to have to pull those down. Again, the de-essing trick. And then for this, I actually put on an amplifier with the Saturn plugin, and it gave it some distortion. And then I pulled the mix down, as you can see right here. The mix is at 23%. So I pulled the mix down, and then it helped give it like a cool like distortion effect on the sides with the dancing vocals and shit like that. And then that was before my delay. And then the actual delay with the mix at 100%, I have it spread out really wide, so that it's just like echoing by a quarter note. And then I have it on tape delay ancient, so it's like lo-fi, high and low pass filters. Those like, I can't even give you numbers on those. I can't give you numbers on anything, but especially these, because like this is creative effects and like the feeling I wanted in the song. It's like you can't go wrong with these unless like it's blatantly too loud or blatantly too quiet, or like, you know, unless you're like destroying the song. Stuff like that, it's just kind of like to taste, you know. So yeah, I'll play the final result right now.
You always talking about it. You never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket.
One last thing before I play this is I'm sending the delays. So like every time a delay hits, it sends into the reverb over here. And then I send it pretty high so that the delays have like a lot of reverb. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out because that's like a trick I use all the time to give the delays more ambience.
You always talking about it. You never making no profit. I treat my hoes like an option, yeah. She talking and get out of pocket. I'm living life like a rock star, pulling no stretch limousines. Look at me, that costs a fee. Double C's all on my feet.
Word. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This chain is actually pretty long. My chain now is, I guess it's like the same length, but the way I go about things is a little different. This is a newer mix too, so I'm changing my chain all the time, so you guys are gonna have to keep watching to catch up. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'm gonna be posting a lot more of these. Please like and comment. If we get 0 likes, I'll post another video. And if you need mixing done, please hit me up. I'm doing a lot of online mixing for people, so if you like the way I mix this, I could probably make your vocals sound very similar, if not better, if you're some amazing prodigy. And yeah, so hit me up on Instagram. All the links to all my socials and stuff are in the description, so just hit me there or comment, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, that's it. Peace out. See you next video.